Am I the asshole for telling my parents that my husband that if they don't like our lifestyle they can leave? I'm upset, so I will get right to the point. My husband and I both make well over 6 figures. But we work long hours, and as a result when we are not working or at the gym working out, we just want to veg out. So, we, when not working, will generally make breakfast but order out lunch and dinner or go out to eat. If we are working, we eat out all 3 meals. Our loans are paid off, we own our condo, and we have no children. So, eating, ordering out makes us happy. We also have a cleaning lady come twice a week to clean out home and do our laundry. Our parents came to visit and were upset that we didn't cook for them the whole week except for breakfast. We took the week off because we both knew both sets of parents were coming. We told them we don't cook except for breakfast, but our condo is right next door to a plaza that has a grocery, and they are welcome to cook if they like. But there were quite a few restaurants that we have yet to take them to, so why not try one of them? They got on us on how much money we were spending, and my mother-in-law got on me when the cleaning lady came and said I should be doing the cleaning because she worked and cleaned and took care of kids, so she doesn't get why I can't. Which pissed me off, so I went off and told her, because I'm not Superwoman, have no desire to be and refuse to try, and if she wants a participation trophy for being overworked and underpaid, she can head to the bar and have a shot of Jameson. I then told her and my parents that I did not spend 4 years in college and 2 in graduate school to play Florence from the Jeffersons. It's an 80s show that my parents love to watch. So, they went on to complain about how much money we were wasting. My husband told them that it is not their money, it's ours, and we don't consider it a waste. We told them the last thing we want to do when we get off from work is cook and clean. My husband told his mom that he never understood why she would work herself to the bone like that. Even when he and his sisters tried to pitch in and help, she insisted on doing everything herself. I told her I will not be doing that. So, they went on about an emergency fund. We told them before we started living the way we do, we made sure our student loans were paid off and we each have a year's salary saved up plus investments, so we are good, thank you. My dad tried to be intrusive and ask how much money we both made, and we said, none of your business. At the same time, which made us both laugh, but they were not laughing. They didn't like our reaction and felt we were wasting money. We told them if they have a problem with our lifestyle, they could all leave. So, they Ubered to a hotel. We really didn't want them to leave just to drop the subject. So, are we idiots for telling them they could leave? Update. I've texted both sets of parents and told them I'm sorry for what I said and want them to come back, as I never wanted them to leave. That I know what I said about them leaving was out of line. I just wanted to drop the subject, but my way about it was wrong. I told them whether they decide to come back, I would like to reimburse them for the hotel rooms. Second update. Yeah, we just met up at a restaurant near the hotel. They didn't want to eat, so we sat at the bar and talked. We told them that our finances are our business, and though we told them that if they didn't like it, they could leave, we were not literal when we said it. We just wanted to drop the subject. They continued that we are wasting money. We told them it is our money to waste, and just because they consider it wasting money, we don't. We consider it one of the perks of our very fortunate life, and it was not going to change. We told them that we appreciate their concern, but we know what we are doing, that they don't have to agree with it, but it is not up for discussion or debate. We told them we would love to have them back and to enjoy the rest of the week with them, but any comments or conversation about how we spend our money will not be allowed. They agreed, and we are taking them to a restaurant a little off the beaten path that we know they all will love. No, they didn't apologize, but we didn't expect them to. Not the asshole, but you are living a lifestyle they simply can't understand. You've been smart with your money, didn't have a bunch of children to pay for, have good educations, good jobs. It sounds as if you've tried to explain without giving them info that is none of their business. You went a bit far with the "you can leave," as they did not have much choice at that point. When you talk to them, eventually, just tell them, nicely, that your finances and what you spend are not up for discussion. My son and D-in-law have a lifestyle similar to yours and unlike your parents. I am significant other happy they are able to enjoy life without worries about finances. Not the asshole, but if you want to avoid hurt feelings going forward, it sounds like you really do, then learn some gray rocking strategies, and make a habit of those being your go-to. I guess, since you're trying to make peace and make amends, it would be counterproductive to point out to them that choosing a hotel when given the option of that or dropping the damned subject was completely lacking in any financial foresight and a waste of money.
Yummy face.
Not the asshole. What you said wasn't out of line, it was you almost properly setting a boundary with consequences. Next time be even more direct. If you won't discontinue conversations about our finances, we will ask you to leave.
You have nothing to apologize for. They are guests in your home, and if you don't want to be harangued about your finances, you don't have to be.
My own parents could never understand the concept of quality of life. I watched them work themselves to the bone and still feel like failures because they weren't working 24/7. Trying to explain that I work to live and not live to work was like speaking Danish to English speakers. They had no common vocabulary to go on.
Seems to me that you and your husband have taken care of the essential things like good grown-ups.
They should be proud that they helped create such responsible adults. Not the asshole.
You invited your parents into your home. They were comfortable. You were making them breakfast and treating them to meals, I assume at decent restaurants.
You assured them that you are financially accomplished and secure,
and they were still being critical, and instead of calming down when you laid a very basic ultimatum for people who were disrespecting you in your own home, they chose to leave.
There are apologies owed here, and they are overwhelmingly from your parents.
If my children were doing well enough to be debt-free and able to hire a housekeeper and invite me for a vacation, I would be jumping for joy, not crabbing at them to do their own laundry. One of our sons takes us to different places to eat when we visit him, and it's so nice because we can concentrate on talking to each other and not have to worry about cooking and cleaning up afterwards, and we get to try so many new places.
We really like it, and we're retired and around 70. Sure, we worked hard like your parents did, but we found a softer side of life that we really enjoy. Am I the asshole for starting a fight over groceries? My husband and I are from entirely different cultures. His family has always been overbearing, especially his mother. He has always helped them out financially or with food. He had 6 siblings, and his parents were always struggling. This was fine until he was laid off from his good-paying tech job, and we had to start budgeting. He still gives his family money to the point that I already opened a non-joint checking account, and I have my checks directly deposited there to make sure bills are paid. I come home early from work, and his mom goes through our freezer and fills up bags of food for herself and her adult children who still live at home. I lost my shit on his mom, who has always been a homemaker, and told her to get a job and stop stealing our food. My husband, her, and I got into this huge screaming match after I spoke to his mother.
How I'm not supporting an able-bodied adult who can get a job, and they need to assimilate into our culture now that his family lives here because food is too fucking expensive for her shop from my fridge.
This escalated to me being called names, insensitive, and worse. I packed 2 suitcases in front of his mother, and I am staying with my family. I do not care if an eviction is on my credit report, and I'm no longer helping out him or his freeloading family. I have had lots of slurs towards me over the last few days when my husband has tried to talk to me about our debts, and I told him he could sue me, but I know right now he cannot afford the place we live in, the utilities, or even food, so I really don't care about him or his freeloading family right now. Edit. I have a meeting with the landlord tomorrow, work, and an attorney next week to start the divorce paperwork. The landlord would rather me stay since I'm working and have my husband leave. The attorney and the landlord said they would work together on this. Husband offered to get any job if I don't leave him or cut off his family, but I think it's too late for that. Not the asshole, you're not an which you seem to know already. Not the asshole, the fight isn't over groceries. It's over your husband prioritizing taking care of his mother and siblings over you and your future with him. Don't ruin your credit. Give 30 days notice. Fuck your husband, he can move with mom. Obviously not the asshole. But this marriage is over, you know that, right? He's not going to stop giving his mother, siblings money, and will continue to expect you finance their lives for them. Not the asshole, groceries were just the final straw. He refuses to admit he can no longer provide for his parents and siblings, and will put you both in debt to do so. Find a divorce lawyer, make an appointment to discuss your situation. It will help you to make the best decisions throughout the process. Not the asshole, but let's hire a divorce lawyer ASAP. Would I be the asshole if I didn't tell my family for 4+ days that I had the baby? My mom, widowed, and in-laws are all 3 on the narc spectrum, with my mom being the worst. I'm going to have a planned C-section later this month, and I don't want to tell anyone ahead of time, and I don't want to announce baby's birth, sex, or name until we are home, which will probably be 4 days after birth. I'm tired of my milestones and news being hijacked by my mom, and I don't want my phone blowing up while I'm in the hospital.
For example, when my brother-in-law asked my mom for her blessing, she told everyone that my sister was getting engaged before he actually had the chance to propose.
Sister is still hurt she found out from a cousin congratulating her.
We are planning on a baby name that would honor a late family member, and I know my mom will call the honorees next of kin and make it all about herself, and I want to be able to, after surgery, make those calls and announcements myself.
However, I might be the asshole because healthy and narc family members would feel hurt, confused, excluded at not being told about a major surgery or the birth, death of a family member for 4+ days.
My in-laws are going to be first-time grandparents, and I imagine it would really hurt their feelings to not know for more than half a week that their first grandkid was born, and make sharing the news with friends, family weird because they can't explain why my husband and I needed this uncommon boundary. Due to family dynamics, we can't tell his family days before mine.
Would I be the asshole if my husband and I waited to announce the baby for 4 or 5 days until we're home? Not the asshole. Anyone who is close enough to you that they would notice if your schedule changed for a few days will notice anyway. Anyone who isn't that close to you can wait to hear the news. Honestly, anyone who can't understand, we just wanted a few days to process it together before sharing it, isn't someone who deserves to know anyway.
YWNBTA.
But I still don't really get it.
You don't need to totally hide the birth, which I think would be the part that would hurt people's feelings.
Just send a blanket email or message something along the lines of, baby born, happy and healthy.
Resting up after a hard time, and we'll be radio silent for a few days as our little family gets to know each other. Then a few days later, tell them whatever you want to tell them.
I think that'd be fair for everyone, though again, not the asshole either way.
Not the asshole, no justification needed. You don't owe anyone in your family a performance. The birth of your first child is a beautiful, special moment between you, your husband, and your baby, and you should absolutely get to spend that time together without interruption or involvement from anyone else.
All of your extended family will literally have the rest of your child's life to spend time with them and make memories with them.
You're not keeping your child away from them or anything. You're just taking a few days to yourselves, and it's crappy that our society makes us feel guilty about that or like we have to justify it to people.
Not the asshole at all. You deserve to deliver your child in peace and announce on your own terms.
Go ahead and announce in whatever way you and your husband are comfortable doing.
The narcs will be offended, but you know that already.
Those with whom you have healthy relationships should be easily placated with, you know how mom, father-in-law is, and this isn't their news to hijack.
Not the asshole. Your family, your choice.
Seems like a bad habit your mom makes, and as childish this may sound,
it's probably a good idea.
Not to say she deserves it, but for her to know, again, it's not about her.
She will attempt to, but until she sees why you did it, a taste of this, she's never going to learn. This is simply about you and your growing family. Am I the asshole for cutting in a line that didn't need to exist to begin with?
Just ran to Walmart for one thing. Go to the self-checkout and there are 3 open but 2 people standing there in line, not moving. So I'm like, alright, maybe they have lane closed signs on M.
Nope.
So I go to checkout and a woman from the line goes to the one next to me and I hear her mutter halfway under her breath something about, so you don't have to wait in line now, huh? And then I'm like, oh shit, she's talking to me? ! I ignore and then she muttered again. Don't ignore me, motherfucker, I know you hear me. But like just quiet enough that I very well could have not heard her. Ignored again and left.
There were lanes open and no reason to wait, so I didn't and got harassed for it. Cold sweat smile. Not the asshole, but next time when people are standing there, gently suggest to them that the lines checkouts are open and ask if they are waiting. Same applies to people waiting to order at a coffee shop, etc. People generally don't like when someone walks in front of them if they've been waiting, and I'm sure you don't like it either. Her reaction was passive-aggressive and rude, but next time give them the chance to go ahead of you. Not the asshole. They could have gone to an empty checkout whenever they wanted. They did not. It's not unreasonable to assume they were just standing waiting for something else or talking, etc. By walking to the open register, you actually are making them aware that it is open, so need to tell them. The women behind you actually got out sooner because of it. She went to the line next to you.
The people getting all upset because you didn't tell the women that got out of hand because she didn't see the 2 open registers until you used one, or wild emo.
Worst case, it would have been just one spot in line for a cash register they didn't realize was open. Not the asshole.
People who don't have situational awareness need to STFU.
I avoid interacting with most people while shopping,
because even just reminding them that a lane is open can cause them to erupt. The polite thing to do would have been to let them know there were registers open.
I wouldn't say you're a full-blown asshole for this, but a little rude, could have been handled better.
Not the asshole. Okay, so many of us have spaced out, but I have also nicely mentioned to those in front of me that there was more than one open register, only to have them become almost irate. Like another said, situational awareness. If there were 3 lanes open and 2 in line, you did nothing for anyone to question. They soon figured out they had a register to go to versus holding everyone else up because they were distracted.
No harm, no foul.
My main thing is, if there are 2 people standing and waiting, why would you not assume that there's maybe a reason why they're standing and waiting? The normal thing to do would have been to politely ask if there was a reason they were waiting or if you could go to a till. Maybe a store employee asked them now to use the other tills or something, you don't know. Be polite and sociable and just ask. That being said, of course not the asshole, you weren't wrong to just go ahead, and she was super rude and inappropriate.
Probably embarrassed that she didn't understand how self-checkout works.